Imagine this. It's the middle of the day, your eyes are heavy, your focus is fading, and your body feels like it's moving through mud. You've already had coffee, maybe even 2 cups, but it barely scratches the surface. And in that moment you ask yourself, why do I feel like this? Why is my brain shutting down when I need it most? That exact experience is universal. Every one of us has been there, at work, at school, or even during something we actually enjoy. But the energy simply collapses. And here's the truth. It's not because you're weak, lazy, or unmotivated. It's because your nervous system, your biology, has hit a reset point. And the trick is this: you don't need another stimulant, you don't need more sugar, and you don't need to wait until tomorrow. There is a way to reboot your energy in seconds using only your own body. Think of it like restarting a frozen computer. The machine itself isn't broken, it just needs the right button pressed, and your body works the same way. The key is to understand that your fatigue in these moments is not about lack of fuel. It's about imbalance in how your nervous system is regulating itself. When you're slumped, staring at the screen, or scrolling aimlessly, what's actually happening is that your brain has shifted into a low arousal state. Your parasympathetic system, the one that calms you down, is winning over your sympathetic system, the one that energizes you. What you need is not caffeine, but a quick way to flip that switch, to wake up your sympathetic drive and restore balance. And the fastest way to do that is through your body. Let me introduce you to a simple 3-step reset framework. I call it the triple switch. 3 levers you can flip in under 30 seconds that reawaken your nervous system and bring back sharpness and energy. These 3 switches are breath, posture, and focus. Breath is the ignition, posture is the battery connection, and focus is the accelerator. Once you learn how to trigger all 3, you'll realize you have the ability to restore energy anytime, anywhere with no external aid. Let's begin with the first switch. Breath. Most of the time when you're tired, your breathing becomes shallow and passive. Your chest barely moves, your diaphragm is stuck, and your brain is quietly suffocating on low oxygen and high carbon dioxide. The fastest fix is not a long meditation or a 10-minute exercise. It's a specific breathing pattern that shocks your nervous system awake. Here it is. 2 short inhales through the nose back to back, followed by 1 long exhale through the mouth. Imagine sniffing in twice quickly, like you're pulling air into your chest and then topping it off, and then exhaling slowly, as if you're deflating a balloon. Do this 3 times in a row, and what happens is almost magical. Your oxygen levels rise, your CO2 drops, and your brainstem sends a wake-up call to your cortex. You feel an immediate shift, almost like splashing cold water on your face, but from the inside. This pattern has been studied in neuroscience labs, and it's one of the fastest known ways to change your state. But breath alone is not enough. Which brings us to the second switch, posture. Think about how your body looks when you're exhausted. Shoulders slumped, spine collapsed, head tilted forward. That posture doesn't just reflect your state, it reinforces it. When your chest is compressed, your lungs can't expand fully, and your brain interprets the slouch as a signal of defeat. So the instant fix is this: stand up, roll your shoulders back, and stretch your arms overhead, even if only for a few seconds. This opens your chest cavity, reactivates your core muscles, and literally tells your nervous system, we are not shutting down, we are ready. You might notice athletes doing power poses before competition, not because they want to look confident, but because their body posture directly shifts their brain chemistry. Studies show that even 2 minutes in an expansive posture raises testosterone and lowers cortisol. So don't underestimate the act of simply standing tall, opening your chest, and resetting your spinal alignment. It's like reconnecting the power cable to a device. And then comes the third switch, focus. Your mind, when tired, tends to collapse inward. You stare blankly at the same spot or get lost in endless scrolling. This tunnel vision deepens the fatigue. To reboot energy, you need to reset your attentional system. The quickest way is to expand your gaze. Pick a distant point, maybe outside a window or across the room, and deliberately widen your visual field. Instead of staring narrowly, relax your eyes and let your peripheral vision open up. This act alone reduces stress in the amygdala and activates alertness circuits in the brain. It's as if your system says, we're scanning the horizon, we need to wake up. So here's the magic: breath, posture, focus. 3 switches, flipped in sequence. 3 seconds for breath, 2 seconds for posture, and another 3 seconds for focus. In under 10 seconds, you've rebooted your nervous system. And once you try this, you'll be surprised how effective it is. You'll feel your heart rate shift, your blood pressure normalize, your head clear. It's not fake energy like caffeine, it's your real baseline energy unlocked again. And here's the beauty. The more you use this reset, the faster your brain learns it. Soon, your body will respond in seconds, like muscle memory. Think of it like a hidden refresh button you never knew you had. Now, let me ask you, how many times in the past week did you feel drained, sluggish, desperate for another coffee? And what if, instead of relying on stimulants, you simply pressed your triple switch? How different would your work, your focus, your conversations feel? You don't need hours of rest. You don't need to escape your day. You just need the right reset at the right time. And the best part? Nobody even has to notice. You can do it at your desk, in a meeting, on the train. One breath pattern, one posture correction, one gaze expansion. That's it. And because these three are rooted in hard neuroscience, you're not tricking your body, you're aligning with it. You're giving it the signals it evolved to respond to. This is why children naturally stand tall, breathe deeply after running, and look widely around a space. Their nervous systems are constantly refreshing themselves. We, as adults, forgot how to do this, but it's still in us. So right now, as you hear this, I want you to try it. Take 2 quick inhales through the nose, then 1 long exhale through the mouth. Do it again. And once more. Now roll your shoulders back, stretch your arms overhead, and expand your chest. Finally, shift your eyes to a distant point and let your peripheral vision open. Notice the shift. That's the reboot. That's your body turning back on. Now imagine having this power in your pocket all day. You don't need to wait for caffeine to kick in. You don't need to push through fatigue like a zombie. You can wake yourself up in moments naturally, safely, and reliably, and the ripple effect is enormous. When you're energized, you make better decisions. You resist distractions. You communicate more clearly. You feel more alive. This tiny reset compounds into massive outcomes simply because you refuse to accept fatigue as the default state. In a world where people constantly reach for external fixes, you now have an internal one. This is your secret edge. And here's something important. Energy is not just about productivity. It's about how alive you feel in the present moment. Imagine walking into a room drained, eyes half closed, moving slowly. You're invisible. Now imagine walking in after using the triple switch. Shoulders back, breath alive, eyes wide open. People notice. They feel your presence before you even speak. That's not caffeine talking, that's you in alignment with your biology. And this is why this method matters more than just staying awake. It gives you back control over how you show up in life. Think about how many times fatigue has stolen opportunities from you. Times you could have spoken up, contributed, or enjoyed yourself, but didn't because your energy wasn't there. Now, imagine those moments reversed. That's the power of learning how to flip your own switch. But let's go deeper. Why does this method work so reliably? Because your nervous system evolved to survive in the wild, not at a desk. When ancient humans got tired, their bodies didn't have coffee shops. They had mechanisms to jolt themselves awake if danger appeared. A sudden sound, a shift in posture, a wide scanning of the environment. These were built-in triggers for alertness. All we're doing here is hacking that same survival circuitry, but intentionally. The double inhale with the long exhale mimics the body's natural sigh, which resets the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide. The posture reset mimics the instinctive stretch animals perform when they need to stay vigilant. And the gaze expansion mimics the act of scanning for predators, which instantly raises arousal in the brain. You're not tricking your biology, you're cooperating with it. And when you realize that, the simplicity feels almost unfair. Because now you have a tool most people don't. While others are chained to their coffee mugs and energy drinks, you know how to reboot from the inside out. Let me ask you, what would your days look like if every dip in energy could be reversed in under 30 seconds? How much more work would you get done? How much more present would you feel with the people you care about? How much more confident would you be, knowing you can summon energy on demand? The difference between an average day and an extraordinary day often comes down to just a handful of moments. Moments when you either crash and give up, or reset and keep going. And you now know how to choose the second path. The triple switch is not just a trick. It's a habit worth building. Because the more you practice, the more automatic it becomes. Soon, instead of spiraling into fatigue, your body will instinctively reach for the reset. Just like athletes train their reflexes, you're training your nervous system to stay sharp. And here's something even better. This reset doesn't just fight fatigue, it prevents it. If you use it proactively, before a big meeting, before sitting down to focus, before an important conversation, you'll notice you don't just feel awake, you feel primed. Like an engine already warmed up. That's when you realize you're no longer reacting to low energy, you're leading it. You've turned fatigue from a prison into a signal that says, flip the switch, breath, posture, focus. It's that simple. And I want you to remember it like this. Whenever you feel yourself fading, ask 3 questions. Am I breathing fully? Am I standing tall? Am I seeing wide? If the answer to any is no, flip it. That's the entire framework distilled. Simple enough to remember in the middle of chaos, powerful enough to shift your state instantly. This is how you free yourself from the cycle of stimulants, crashes, and frustration. And this is how you begin to trust your own body again. Because energy is not something you borrow from coffee or sugar, it's something you generate from alignment. So the next time you're sitting there, tempted to grab another cup, stop for a second. Close your eyes if you want. Take those 2 quick inhales, then that long exhale. Roll your shoulders back, open your chest, and feel the power return. Lift your gaze, expand your vision, and watch how your mind snaps into clarity. That's your real self coming back online. That's the you that isn't dependent on anything external. And from that state, you can handle anything. You can think sharper, move faster, and feel more alive than most people around you. That's not exaggeration. That's biology, finally on your side. So here's the invitation. Don't wait until tomorrow to test this. Try it today. Try it now. Notice the change. Make it your secret weapon. And the next time someone asks how you always seem so focused, so energized, so alive, you can smile and know the truth. You're not drinking more coffee. You've learned how to press the reset button built into your body. Breath, posture, focus. Flip the triple switch and your energy is yours again.